Everlasting, the Legacy Podcast, is the official companion podcast to the upcoming MPB original documentary, focusing on the life of Medgar Evers. The companion podcast, hosted by me, Rita Brent, will feature in-depth conversations, extended interviews, and exclusive archive footage not shown in the documentary. Everlasting, the Legacy Podcast, video and audio episodes premiere September 18th. Find it on mpbonline.org or wherever you get your podcasts. MPB, your stories, our mission.
The nation's longest-running traveling celebration of traditional arts, the National Folk Festival, comes to downtown Jackson for the first time, November 7th through the 9th. A fun-filled weekend for the entire family, exploring roots, richness, and variety of American culture. Non-stop music and dance, folk life demonstrations, hands-on children's activities, signature Southern foods, crafts, and more showcasing the best of America, the best of Mississippi, all free. We'll see you in November. More at nationalfolkfestival.com.
It's a personal coffee club.
We didn't invite anyone else.
Well, we might invite Java if we see him, since it was a Java song.
Oh, okay, yeah. And actually, we're inviting all of our listeners to join the coffee club this morning. If you'd like to come online and ask us a question, or stump Deep South Dining, or just add something to the mix, you're always welcome. And particularly today, this is a sort of open topic show. 1-877-672-7464, or if you prefer email, food@mpbonline.org. Well, Carol, what sort of week have you had?
I've had a really good week, and it's been a good week in the kitchen. Just so much stuff is coming in. There's just...
Yeah.
I see.
So here...
For those who are not on YouTube, my friend Malcolm has brought an abundance, a plethora of vegetables.
Yes, from the David and Melissa Patterson garden in Canton. And, it's mostly nightshades. 'Tis the season. Not just nightshades, peaches, figs, other things that we'll talk about. But, this bowl symbolizes a Mississippi summer. This is what we get to enjoy. And if we don't grow our own, our neighbors have it, farmers markets have it, we're just blessed.
And how about them maters?
Those tomatoes are rocking.
Those are heirlooms.
Yeah, those are some of David's. I don't know. Those may be Better Boys, or they may be purple Cherokees.
They look like Cherokee purples to me, but hey, what do I know?
Blend in between. I'll tell you this, they're mighty good. Mighty good, I tell you.
Well, I understand I'm to be blessed with some of
all
these.
of that. I brought this entire bowl of goodness to you, and for you and John to enjoy. Compliments of the Patterson family. He has right now an abundance, so I get to replenish mine tomorrow. But man, oh Manischewitz, have we enjoyed these at our house. Tomato sandwiches. I made a tomato gravy. We made tomato soup. We've made spaghetti sauce. We've roasted the tomatoes. We have eaten them. Oh, so many caprese salads at my house with mozzarella and fresh basil. Yum, yum.
Some fine eating going on.
Mighty fine, as they say. So again, this is a coffee shop. We would love to hear from you, but if we don't, we'll continue on our way. We had a very active week on cooking and coping, Carol.
Indeed we did. I mean, people are doing such incredible things on cooking and coping. It's killing me.
Killing us softly, and we love it.
Yep. We're going to talk about peaches, but there were some fine peach to do. My very favorite thing, have you heard of peach pimento cheese?
No, but let me say this while you mentioned pimento cheese, and it's on my mind. Walker's has reopened, and we're going to have the new owner, chef, on, Joe. What's Joe's last name? Craven. I had lunch there Thursday and Friday last week. Had a nice talk with Joe on Friday. I'm going to get him on. He worked for Derek for years. Good man. He's put his own stamp on Walker's. They have a pimento cheese cornbread lunch. Just want you to know that. And also, big news out of Walker's, they have restored the spaghetti catfish lunch. There was a catfish spaghetti lunch there for years and years and years, and the spaghetti got removed in the last iteration, and then now it has been returned. And I got to have it on Friday for lunch, and it was good.
Well, we've talked about spaghetti and catfish before. I think, with Java, and we didn't know that it was an African-American soul food pairing. I was, just pondering why when we go to Lee's Heavenly Barbecue and Soul Food, there's always spaghetti, with the catfish, and who knew?
And now you know.
Now I know, and it is fantastic.
All right, we got a caller on line one. We've got Bill Jackson. Bill's calling about purple tomatoes. Hey, Bill, what it is?
What's going on, Mal?
It's all good.
You. Hey, Malcolm and Carol, I'm calling from the other end of the building. It's Bill Ellison, the grassroots guy.
Ellison, yeah, I know you.
Coincidentally, I had to call when this happened. I flipped on, of course, to listen to y'all as I do every Monday. But my job here at MPB, my part-time job, other than bluegrass, is contacting our loyal donors and supporters and telling them thanks. And right before you guys came on the air, I called Melissa Patterson and said thank you. And I did not realize that I was talking to the person who gave you those tomatoes.
The purveyor of heirloom tomatoes.
And you can testify, Bill, that you have received some of this goodness in the past.
And that's why I was calling. I'm going to have to call her back and give her another thank you, because you were kind enough to give me some of those tomatoes, and I've been eating tomato bacon and tomato sandwiches. Holy moly, those are good tomatoes.
Well, what makes this even a greater story is to know that Melissa and David Patterson not only support our Deep South dining with their food, they are supporting Mississippi Public Broadcasting.
Yeah, and
I know that was too cool of a coincidence not to call and share it with you guys.
Man, that's terrific.
Because I am going to pick up the phone and bother her again and tell her that I ended up with some of those tomatoes and how good they were.
That's a great story.
Yep.
Well, thank you, brother. It's always good to hear from you.
And call us anytime, Bill, from the other end of the building.
And anytime you want to walk down here to the studio, we'd be glad to see your pretty face.
Well, if you got tomatoes, I'm always going to stop by.
All right.
Enjoy it.
That's the one and only Bill Ellison, the star of our bluegrass show here on MPB on Saturday nights at, Melissa, do you know the time? Is it 6, 7? We'll figure it out. Grassroots, Bill.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Java just popped through the door to let us know that
Thank God for Java.
Grassroots is at 8 o'clock p.m. on Saturday nights with Bill Allison. And also Bill, of course, performs with the Vernon Brothers and with Bill Temperance and Jeff. A multi-talented young man.
Yes, he's a Renaissance man.
And what a great time to have him on the team of Mississippi Public Broadcasting as we are facing federal funding cuts and relying more and more on our listeners and our donors to keep the ship afloat. And we are grateful to each and every one of you.
Hey, Mal, guess what month it is?
It just turned August.
It's National Catfish Month.
Man, what?
And here we are
Yeah.
in the catfish
capital
Yes,
of the
we are.
world.
Yes, we are.
We're the capital of so many worlds.
I know. our own worlds, but
We're the birthplace of America's
we're already
music.
talking about catfish, and we
Capital.
didn't even recognize that. I mean, catfish is so woven into the fabric of our lives.
So woven. And also, besides it being Catfish Month in August, tomorrow, the 5th day of August, is National Oyster Day. Now, we all
Heaven
know
help us.
we know how much we love the bivalve.
Yes.
And how Mississippi grows and Louisiana and Texas and all our neighbors grow the beautiful oyster. And more and more, there are oyster farmers in the Mississippi Sound, in Mississippi, growing delightful oysters, as well as the natives, which are more and more scarce.
Yeah, the reefs have been badly damaged by
beaten and
hurricanes
battered.
and
Oil
ecology and
all of
climate
that.
change and all those good things. But, remember when we used to say oysters are in season and you could only eat oysters in our
Correct.
months? And here it
It's
is
no
August,
longer
and here it is August, and it are in season, and it's National Oyster Day. So there you have it. Things change.
Things do change. And speaking of change, we're going to go to the phone to our North Mississippi correspondent, who we were expecting to hear from last week to give us a report on the tomato sandwich cook-off at the Oxford Farmers Market. But here he is today. Hopefully he'll update us on that.
He's a week late, but he's not $1 short.
And he has a report on the Barq's root beer controversy. It's Chico Harris calling from the Tupelo, Oxford, Hill Country region. Hello, Chico. How are you?
Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing? I'm doing great.
Yeah, man, we're great. It's good to hear from you.
Well, I am calling about the Barq's root beer controversy, but I wanted to tell you, Malcolm, that yesterday at Proud Larry's, I was privileged enough to visit with Curtis Wilkie, and I gave him greetings from you that he was very glad to get, and from Liz Cleveland as well.
Well, thank you, Chico. I saw do you make those posters that you post all the time?
I do.
Those are incredible works of folk art. And I know you're multi-talented and you do so many things. I did not realize that you made all of those posters for Proud Larry's. But the one you made yesterday was monumental in scope and very important. Tell us a little bit about the event.
Well, it had about 30 names on it yesterday, and y'all going to get me emotional now. Jack Sonny was an American musician who chose to move to Oxford, and some people might know him from being the second guitar in Dire Straits.
Yep.
But Jack was just an all-around real good dude. He was just a real asset to the North Mississippi community and the musical community. And he passed last year, not long after he finished his first novel. And Cool Dog Sound in Water Valley, Tim and Susan Lee's publishing imprint, they published his novel, and yesterday was the release party at Proud Larry's. And Jack's family came from the East and West Coast to join in the reading, and Curtis was one of the readers, one of the local readers that read from Jack's novel. And then his band, the Leisure Class, played about 8 songs of Jack's favorite songs, and let me tell you, the next to last song was a Dire Straits song, and it was joyous to see Jack's family dancing with total joy right there in Proud Larry's in Oxford, Mississippi. And then the last song of the evening was "Ooh La La" by the Faces.
Yes.
Has the chorus. I wish if I'd known what I did. I wish I'd known now what I did when I was younger.
Right.
The band played that, and they slowed it down to just a cappella. And then the entire packed room joined in on that chorus. And it was just a truly beautiful Oxford, Mississippi thing for our friend Jack Sonny.
Well, that's great. That's a great report. Thank you for that. I met Jack a couple of times. First time I met him, it was with Curtis Wilkie. Jack had driven Curtis down to Jackson for an event, and then we, of course, retired to the Mayflower for lunch. And Jack, he and I had a lot in common: music business, writing, literature, the Deep South, so forth and so on. But I want to tell you quickly before you tell me about the Barq's root beer controversy, Carol. I'll share this with you as well. Yesterday at Wells Church, we had a wonderful event raising money for Wells Fest Cares, which is a nonprofit that raises money for musicians in need. And we had a packed house for Miss Misty Blue.
Miss Dorothy Moore
Miss
herself.
Dorothy Moore did a concert that was half gospel and half R&B. But, Chico, she did an a cappella number that was so moving and so emotional that Dorothy Moore, had to stop 3 times during the performance just to hold back the tears and the emotion. And it was just a beautiful event, and it's a great organization. And quickly, Wells Fest, which is coming up, Carol.
It's in October, Mel.
October 4th here in Jackson is an event where musicians have always, 40 years, musicians have always played for free to raise money for nonprofits. And so we created Wells Fest Cares to give back to musicians in need. So that's
fantastic.
That, and that's good.
I remember who started Wells Fest.
That's
it
right.
was a guy named Malcolm White.
That guy. So, Chico, what's happening in the Barq's root beer world?
Oh, I enjoyed last week y'all's interview with, I think his name was Jay DeCuddy.
Yes, Jay DeCuddy.
Right.
Jay DeCuddy, and he told about the Cajun and Creole food and whatnot. And that reminded me about the Barq's root beer controversy. Just rages on. Those New Orleanians, God bless them, they just won't let it die. But I was recently reading the Times-Picayune, and there was this fella had a column, and he went on, and he admitted that Mr. Edward Barq, back during the Gilded Age, I think it was 1896, 1898, something like that, moved from New Orleans to Biloxi. And while he was living in Biloxi, he created Barq's root beer and started selling it, and people were enjoying it. And then later on, New Orleans got in on the fun. But this fella in the Times-Picayune, he claimed that since Mr. Barq was from New Orleans, that really New Orleans and Biloxi share the creator.
Wrong.
No. It's like saying Elvis Presley was born in Memphis. Come on. It just ain't the way it is.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's also true of the pressed po' boy, which is a
Biloxi
phenomenon that now people in New Orleans like to weave into the history of the po' boy story, which is fine. But yes, Barq's root beer is 100% Biloxi. And
it has a checkered history. First of all, I have to say that only Barq's root beer is what goes with oyster po' boys. That's it.
Oh yeah,
that's it.
Absolutely.
I grew up in Pass Christian, and you cannot have an oyster po' boy without Barq's root beer.
In the bottle.
In the bottle.
With the baked on label.
No can.
With the baked on label.
Yeah. You
and
got
the
it.
checkerboard, it was a diamond shoulder.
But
That's right.
their inheritance story, the controversy surrounding who owned, I think, now Coca-Cola owns it. I mean, but they're even ended up with attempted murder charges in the family.
Yeah.
So go grab a Barq's. It's good.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all.
Go ahead.
Let me ask y'all if y'all remember in the 70s and before on the coast, that was the only place you could get Barq's was down there. And half my people lived down there, and I used to love in the 60s and 70s going down and smuggling 6-packs of Barq's back up to the Tupelo. First time I learned the joys of smuggling.
Yeah. But not the last.
Right. Y'all remember that back in those days you could get Barq's ginger ale, and it was in a green straight-sided bottle. And they had a Barq's cream soda.
Cream soda, yeah.
I remember the cream soda. Yep.
Remember it well.
Remember those bottles?
Absolutely. You got one?
Yeah. Oh, I've got a few of them that I've had since the 70s. You know, my mother, God bless and rest her soul, she was never proud of the fact that her son is a soft drink historian.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Well, there's a
I'm
place for
sorry.
that.
yeah, well, there is a place, the Museum of Southern Beverages. So
And Deep South Dining.
yeah,
where-
exactly. Now, how about that tomato sandwich festival?
Well, I tell you what, I don't
Competition.
have my notes. I don't have my notes in front of me, and I want to give everybody full credit. So I'm going to call you back next week.
Okay.
And I also might throw in something about Joan Crawford and Pepsi Cola and Tupelo back in the 50s.
Well, we'd
Well,
be
we'll be
happy to get
waiting.
that report as well. All right, Chico Harris. Thank you, my brother. We are always happy to hear from you, and keep on keeping on and digging deep. So we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with more Deep South Dining. Carol, we got a lot to talk about here
there's
on the
so
coffee
much,
shop.
So much.
Anybody that wants to join the fun, it's really easy. It's toll free. It's 1-877-672-7464, or if you prefer email and you don't want to go online, I don't want to get on the phone, it's food@mpbonline.org. Carol and I will be right back with more Coffee Shop right here on MPB Think Radio.
Nation's longest running traveling celebration of traditional arts, the National Folk Festival comes to downtown Jackson for the first time, November 7th through the 9th. A fun-filled weekend for the entire family, exploring roots, richness, and variety of American culture. Non-stop music and dance, folk life demonstrations, hands-on children's activities, signature Southern foods, crafts, and more showcasing the best of America, the best of Mississippi, all free. We'll see you in November. More at nationalfolkfestival.com.
At the Mississippi Arts and Entertainment Experience in Meridian, we believe in the power of the arts, storytelling, and education, just like Mississippi Public Broadcasting. MPB connects communities across the state with quality programs that inform, inspire, and engage. Their audience is loyal and appreciative of businesses that support public broadcasting, which makes underwriting on MPB a smart investment. Join us in supporting MPB. Learn more at mpbfoundation.org.
Everlasting, the Legacy Podcast, is the official companion podcast to the upcoming MPB original documentary, focusing on the life of Medgar Evers. The companion podcast, hosted by me, Rita Brent, will feature in-depth conversations, extended interviews, and exclusive archive footage not shown in the documentary. Everlasting, the Legacy Podcast, video and audio episodes premiere September 18th. Find it on mpbonline.org or wherever you get your podcasts. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Welcome back to Deep South Dining right here on MPB Think Radio. Malcolm White, Carol Palmer, Chico Harris, Java Chapman,
And all the ships at sea, all the people out there.
Marissa Vaughn. Hello, Marissa.
Hey, how y'all doing this morning?
Good. How's everything in the production booth?
You know, it's running smoothly, and that's all I can ask for.
All right. The captain of the ship speaks. All right. Now we got another caller on the phone. We're going to take that, and then we'll move on to our long and assorted list of other topics that we have brought to the table this morning. Our friend Edward is on the phone, or is he not? I see it's... There he is.
Oh, yeah, I think we got him now.
Hey, Edward, what's up, brother? Hello. There he goes. There he is.
About a meatloaf. I want some meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
A man needs meatloaf.
I love meatloaf. In fact, I had meatloaf last week twice. Once at Hallamow's and once at Walker's. You got a meatloaf story to share, Edward?
No, I want to know the best recipe.
Oh, the best recipe for meatloaf. Well, here's what you do. You get yourself some ground beef, and you mix in some onions and garlic And if you like peppers, you can chop them all up and put it in there. And I usually put some breadcrumbs and perhaps an egg in some ground beef. And pat it very slowly, softly. You don't want to push it together and smush it. You just want to slowly combine it, keep it kind of loose, and then slather that dude with a tomato sauce. Now, some people use ketchup, some people use chili sauce, some people make a homemade tomato gravy, which I love. And then you pop that dude in the oven and you cook it till it's golden on top and sizzling on the sides, and that tomato gravy has gotten kind of crusty. You take it out and you slice it, and then you add another layer of tomato gravy over it per serving. Ooh. Tomato gravy made from tomatoes, fresh or canned, with onions, garlic, maybe some sweet basil from the yard.
I wish people could see how excited you are describing meatloaf. Edward, you called in on the right show.
Also, don't you?
Do what, buddy?
You must have some mashed potatoes to go with it.
Oh, I love
Gotta
mashed
have a tater.
potatoes. Yes, indeed.
And then the next day we're going to have meatloaf sandwiches.
Speak.
Hey, look,
Speak.
I turned to a hillbilly. I like that kind of food.
You know, at the Crazy Cat Eat Up, Mash Up, whatever it's called, they serve a fabulous meatloaf, and they also serve a meatloaf sandwich. So
Sounds good. Now, I want to talk about my favorite meatloaf.
okay.
Mine is by our good friend Robert St. John. And if you just put in your search engine, Robert St. John meatloaf, and the recipe is called The World's Last Meatloaf. And it was in one of his early books. But one thing I really like about it is you don't put it in a pan. You shape it kind of like a football.
That's right.
And then you take your hand and make a ditch.
A ditch across the top.
A ditch down the middle of it for the tomato glaze. But really, really like his. It has, I think, like 3 eggs. It has, it has milk in it. It's really liquid, kind of wet when you make it. But it is absolutely my favorite meatloaf.
All right. Well, great. Edward, thank you for calling and getting us headed down the meatloaf trail. You know, we love good meatloaf. We've got another caller from Natchez, Mississippi's original creative economy. Natchez, Mississippi, on the bluff, on the hill. Comment about Barq's in the 1960s. Leon, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well, young man. How are you guys?
Life is good here at Deep South Dining.
All right. Listen, we had Barq's root beer in Natchez, Mississippi when I was a kid in the 60s.
Absolutely.
Man, don't you know it? Do you make root beer floats?
Oh, Lord, yes. Absolutely. But I thought I heard the gentleman say that they didn't get south until the 70s, but we had them in the 60, 61, 62.
Yeah, he was saying that they had not made it to the Tupelo Northeast section by then.
Oh, okay.
And that he was smuggling them from the coast and maybe Natchez, much like we used to do Coors beer when I was in college. You'd take all the seats out of the van, drive to Houston, fill up the van with Coors cases, drive back to Starkville,
and make a profit.
And sell it to the frat boys.
Forever an entrepreneur.
And the frat boys would pay for your Coors. And that is how it worked. And so Chico says he did the same thing with Barq's root beer.
Okay. All right.
But Leon, we thank you. We thank you for listening, and we thank you for calling, and we appreciate your comments. It's always good to hear from you.
And when you get this way, hey, stop by Arch Natchez Gallery here in Natchez and give us a visit.
Well, I'll do that. Thank you so much for the invitation. We will swing by the next time we're down to see Wyatt Waters and Christy, who are now halftime in Natchez and have a gallery there. Did you know that, Carol?
Did not.
Yes, Wyatt has opened up, and Christy have opened up a gallery in Natchez.
So
anyway,
we'll have many galleries to visit.
We will. All right, our buddy Kevin in Charleston, South Carolina is calling. Hello, Kevin. How are you this morning?
Oh, man, I don't see how I could be a whole lot better. How y'all doing?
My brother says if I were any better, I'd be twins.
And I'd be you. All right. All right, so I heard meatloaf, and I couldn't resist chiming in. First of all, I think meatloaf is the unsung hero of the family meal. It gets a bad rap, but I think that's mainly from people that don't know how to make it. Meatloaf is amazing. Secondly, meatloaf hack here. So my mom, a lot of people use cracker crumbs or breadcrumbs.
Right.
My mom always used oatmeal.
Ooh, boy.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know why. That's just how she grew up with it. So what I do with mine is instead of just using oatmeal, I'll throw a couple of packets, one or two, depending on the size of meatloaf. I'll throw a couple of packets of brown sugar oatmeal in there.
Mm-hmm. That tracks.
Okay.
I hear you.
Absolutely delicious. Throwing ground sage in there complements it real well. Alternatively, if you're not going to go the brown sugar route, a packet of Lipton's onion soup mix.
I have seen that used
yeah.
before, yes.
That's a very 60s.
Very
60s
60s
thing, yeah.
It is like one of the best hacks ever. I do the same thing with my pot roast a lot of the times.
Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with that.
So now if you're going to make meatloaf, it would be nothing less than a travesty if you did not make mashed potatoes. I'm not entirely sure why one would have a meatloaf without mashed potatoes. It's
Makes
strange.
no sense to me.
Right. It's like non-alcoholic beer. What's the point?
What's the point?
So the mashed potato thing, though, one thing that I've always found that's great is, one, making sure you soak the potatoes for a while before you boil them, take some of the starch out. And when you go to mix them together, nice little dollop of sour cream in there.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, whitens them up a little bit, makes them look a little prettier on the table, and they taste great, too.
Fluff them up, baby. Fluff them up.
And if you really want to fluff them up, use Yukon Gold.
Oh, Yukon Gold.
Oh, yeah, you can't beat Yukon Gold. Oh, and you know what? For some reason, the word fluff just triggered it in me. One of the best things I've ever found for making mashed potatoes, throw them in the KitchenAid.
Now we're talking whipped potatoes. We've moved past mashed into whip.
Absolutely. And don't get me wrong, I am equal opportunity when it comes to mashed potatoes. I am good with lumps or not lumps. But when you're just trying to get a meal on the table, so much faster too.
Yes. Well, this is all good, man, and we are grateful for you and for your attention to our radio show. We appreciate you listening. We appreciate you calling. Hope all is well in Charleston, South Carolina. It was each and every time I've ever been there. Carol, what about you?
I worked there.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, I worked on the newspaper there as an intern when I was at Converse College.
What years might that have been?
Malcolm, I would be giving away, let's just say it was in the 70s.
The 70s.
The 70s.
Okay.
It was the News and Courier at that time.
And how many years were you in Charleston?
There were two. I did 2 internships. But,
Okay.
I mean, just what a great place to learn to love food.
Yes,
it was
indeed.
kind of the start of things for me.
Good. I love Charleston.
Yeah.
I've only been maybe 5 times, but I've always had a delightful time. And what I like most about it, first of all, it is a food town, and it's a town on the water. It's an old city, beautiful architecture. But the thing I love the most is it is so pedestrian and walkable.
Yes, indeed.
Unlike other places that are all spread out, Charleston is compact and pedestrian friendly, and I like that.
Indeed it is. And
We got
I
another-
love some low country cooking.
Oh, yeah, now we're talking. Got another caller on the phone, and this is Edgar from Jackson, Mississippi, and it could be our great friend, Dr. Edgar Smith. Hello.
Good morning,
It
guys.
is
Good
Dr.
morning.
Smith.
How are you this morning?
Man, life is good. How about you?
Hey, the old man's done the best he can with what he's got left. I couldn't resist because you're hitting on me this month in several ways. First of all, Barq's root beer was my favorite drink growing up in Hollandale in the 40s.
There you go.
I got Barq's root beer. Even I like that more than I did RC Cola, as a matter of fact.
Well, Edgar, just interesting, right when you called, we also got a text from one of your fellow Deltons, Joe Sherman, who said there was actually a Barq's bottling company in Greenville right around the corner from you.
Well, that's why, I thought I had, deep in the recesses of my memory, I thought that was something closer to me than New Orleans or Biloxi that did Barq's root beer. Okay, thanks for that. But I really, really love that. And this is my month because on Wednesday I'll celebrate my 91st birthday.
Wow. Happy birthday, man.
Thank you. And you were talking about, this is Catfish Month, right?
Right on.
And, I got a reputation of cooking some of the best catfish around. So.
Mm-hmm. Carol, did your invitation arrive yet? I'm still looking for mine.
I'm looking for mine, but I know where he lives.
Right. We'll just come get some of that catfish.
And I'm not going to say it on the radio because other people might.
Oh, there'll be a crowd.
But we'll bring the Barq's root beer.
Bring the Barq's root beer. And so, like Brooke Ben would say, it's just a matter of time. But I just wanted to speak with you guys. And thanks. I'm enjoying the show. Take care now.
Hey, Doc, before you go, Doc, I just want to tell you, I thought about you yesterday when we were at Wells Church and Dorothy Moore was doing her thing. And I thought about all the good work that you did for the benevolence work on the Mississippi Blues Commission. And this Wells Fest Care thing is sort of a takeoff of that.
I was thinking about that when you were discussing it because we're still going strong with that benevolent fund.
I know you are.
We're still providing funds to needy musicians, and everything is voluntary, and it's a great group, the benevolent committee. So I really enjoy working with them, and we've been doing some great work. We just helped pay for someone's funeral last week. So you're right. Thanks for that plug, Malcolm. I really appreciate that.
Well, keep doing the Lord's work, and we're grateful for you, and we appreciate you listening to our show and taking the time to call in and
Happy
share
birthday.
your thoughts. Happy birthday, Doc.
So much. Take care, guys.
Very good. Carol, now to the list.
Malcolm, we've got to talk about the peach.
Let's go ahead and dive into the peaches.
This is the time of year for peaches. They're everywhere. And I'm sure that you looked at Cooking and Coping this week. There were some of the most amazing peach dishes. Everybody's doing peaches.
Like yours, where you grilled the peaches. I'm going to tell you this, and I'll shut up and let you talk about peaches. Once upon a time, I went in a restaurant, and they came out and said, would anybody like desserts? And I said, no, but I want to hear what you got, which is my standard line. And they had grilled peach homemade ice cream. I said, bring me some. I ate it. I got one to go. The next day, I went there and said, I've come for the peach ice cream. And they said, we don't have any more. We sold it all yesterday. But when I saw your grilled peaches on Cooking and Coping, that's what I thought about.
The first grilled peach I ever had was in the Napa Valley many, many years ago.
Nappy Valley.
Yes. And I thought, how wonderful. I mean, it just adds, a little glaze to the outside. It's absolutely delicious. But the peach dish I did Saturday night was actually a marinated chicken thigh. It was marinated in balsamic vinegar and lots of ginger. And that grilled peach was the just perfect.
I saw that.
It was a perfect accompaniment. And there was just
Look
a
at
little
it. There
yogurt.
it is.
Oh, there it is. Oh, yay.
It's on the monitor. Look at that.
I wish I had Tim Pierce's skills to plate food, but it was delicious, and my husband was happy.
Pretty yummy to me. When I saw that, I wanted to jump through the screen and grab that peach and that chicken leg as well. But anyway,
but it was like a great wine pairing. It was the peach and the chicken with that balsamic were great. But I was looking on Cooking and Coping, and some of my favorite peach dishes I saw Linda Ann Franzo did sautéed peaches. Just a simple saute as a side. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Love the sound effects.
Yeah.
And then
I can't help myself.
Liz Carroll did, what she called it summer cheese toast.
Summer cheese
and it was
toast.
kind of a crostini, but she had peaches, burrata, prosciutto, a little fig, a little tiny diced tomato, and tiny, tiny flakes of basil. It just jumped off the page. And then
This I like.
Then Kristen Williams Carey, and I always love what she does. Kristen Carey did a peach pimento cheese. And I am telling you, Malcolm, who would have thunk peach pimento cheese?
I'm thinking about it right now.
I'm trying to find. Here it is. Find her what she did. Okay, she said she made a basic pimento cheese recipe with extra sharp cheddar, and she added 1 diced and sautéed peach and 1 small, finely diced sautéed Scotch bonnet pepper. She said when I do it again, she will add more peach and maybe more hot pepper.
Well,
when
you were talking about that dish, the first thing I thought of was, what about a little bit of hot pepper? She's already beat me to the punch.
Yeah,
it's already there.
Peach and hot pepper, like a peach and pepper jelly, are really good. But yesterday I made a cobbler. I've been looking at baking in the American South. We love Ann Byrne.
I was looking at her book this morning when I was drinking my coffee. Not that one.
Lift weights with it.
But I was thinking about Ann Byrne this morning. Go ahead. I like it.
Well, she has so much history with every recipe. And, she talked about, there's a chapter on peach cobbler and hair salons. And she quotes Adrian Miller and then some Southern Foodways Alliance information that talks about peach cobbler was a cottage food industry in Atlanta. People would sell peach cobbler at black hair salons. Black hair salons have been home of many a dish. People come in and sell plates.
Right.
And lots of good food going down there, but really the peach cobbler.
That's sort of the barber shop, the coffee shop concept in the ladies' salon.
And there's actually a book called Beauty Shop Politics, African American Women's Activism in the Beauty Industry. And it includes a lot of food. But anyway, I did this old-timey peach cobbler. It was actually in cast iron. And it just, the crust, it was just delicious.
Hey, speaking of cast iron, did you see that thing I sent you about Martha Stewart now being the spokesperson for cast iron?
I overlooked that.
That's okay. It's in your inbox.
Okay, I'll look.
I sent it to you. I thought that was really interesting. Should we take a break or just keep rocking and rolling here? Just keep going. That's good because we got so much we got to cover.
Yeah, I got to talk about this.
Go ahead on.
Peach sonker.
Sonker.
This is also from Ann Byrne's book. That in most places you call it cobbler, but in Surrey and Wilkes counties, North Carolina, the same dish is called a sonker.
Sonker.
So if you ever wander into that part of the world and you see a sonker on the menu,
go for it.
You will know what it is.
Absolutely. Well, that's good info.
Yeah, it is.
That's really good info. I want to throw in a quick peach story, and then we got a caller we're going to take. I have 2 fig trees. I said peach. It's fig. We already talked about the peaches. I have 2 fig trees in my backyard. They are Italian figs. They were given to me by the Kazari family, who are Lebanese. And this tree, sapling, this little starter, I planted in my yard in Bay St. Louis many years ago. It lived there for a while, never really made peaches. And but when I sold my house, I moved it to Jackson. It's now in my backyard in Jackson. This year, man, I worked it. I put the mesh on it to keep the birds off of the figs, and I watered it, and I loved on it. It made one fig. I found that fig on the ground yesterday. It had gotten so ripe that it had been knocked off of the tree, and I went underneath the mesh, and I retrieved it, and I washed it, and I ate it, and it was so good. And I thought, what if I had a tree full of these things? Wouldn't that be nice?
Next year, Malvin.
But I don't. I just got to stay with it. Got to stay with it. We got a caller from Clarksdale, Mississippi. We've got Homer on the phone. Hello, Homer. How are you?
Hey, how y'all doing this morning?
Real good. How are you?
It's a good day. We're here.
You got that right.
Y'all talked about bread a couple of weeks ago, and I started listening to this show, and I'm telling you, some of the things I learned, but I love MPB. But anyway,
MPB loves you too, brother.
Okay. My mom told me that when I was baking bread, cornbread, she used to always tell me to make it up. I mean, put the water in it, put the milk in it, whatever you're going to put in it, and let it, of course, I use self-rising meal. She said, let it rise before you actually put it in the stove.
Yeah.
And she said it makes the bread a little bit more loose.
Okay.
When you let the meal puff up.
Yeah, give it a minute.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It kind of comes to room temperature.
So this is a great tip.
I'm learning.
When you mix your cornbread up, let it sit until it reaches room temperature and begins to puff up a little bit.
There you go.
Then you put it in the oven.
Yes. Sometimes I let it sit 20, 30 minutes.
Okay.
And just let it puff up. It puffs up. So, and it's always seems to be loose. I never try to bake cornbread. I always cook what my granddaughter called cornbread pancakes.
Pancakes.
Oh, man.
I like that. That's great. Well, that's a great tip, and it's good to hear from you. We appreciate you listening, and call anytime. We'd love to hear from you. All right, let's see, Carol.
I think we have Tim Pierce on the phone.
We got our main man on the.
We've been tracking him since 7 o'clock this morning. He's either been asleep from overeating last night or already at the gym.
Welcome, Tim. What's your name? Tim Pierce. It says on here you're from Byhalia. It says you're from Byhalia on this. That's what your phone says.
Is there a food hangover?
There is a food hangover for sure.
Tim, we were looking at the pictures of your dinner last night, and we just couldn't help but want to talk to you.
Oh, it's good to talk to you all. I miss you all a lot.
Yeah. Speak to us of tomato pie and field peas and fried okra and what kind of squash.
Well, it's been a bountiful summer at the farmers markets in Northeast Mississippi and Memphis, and it's been a bountiful summer for us as we have traveled quite a bit. And even though I got up at 3 a.m. to fly from Williamsport, Pennsylvania yesterday, I came home and cooked dinner for our friends and us, and finally had a big old mama's dinner. Brant says I use every dish in the kitchen when I cook like that. So we just had a great farmer's market dinner, including fresh fried chicken tenders and fried okra and tomato pie and cream corn and purple hull peas and squash, fried squash, and cornbread sticks. So,
I love a cornbread stick.
Well, and
delicious.
Tell us about the roasted red pepper cheesecake.
Well, Delia started us off with that, and I mean, we could have just had that for dinner. It was just, I don't think it was that complex, but at the same time, it was just delicious. Cream cheese and something that made it just the slightest bit sweet, and roasted red peppers that she had pushed into a mold and then she topped it with apricot jam, and we literally thought we were going to eat the whole thing before we had dinner. So
oh my gosh.
Great.
Okay, and I know we don't have much time. I don't know if you mentioned the creamed corn, but I want you to talk about that beautiful tomato pie, and I want everybody who has Facebook to go look at Cooking and Coping and put Tim's dinner of last night. So tomato pie.
Tomato pies, thin sliced tomatoes, between paper towels, salted, at least an hour, and then you layer that with mayo and cheddar cheese in already cooked pie crust. It's just layers of fresh basil, mayo, cheddar cheese, and thin sliced tomatoes. Stick it in the oven for 350 for 30 minutes, and think about having later.
What crust do you employ?
I'm not a bake. I guess I can bake, but I don't bake fresh pastry. So this was Pillsbury.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. It looked.
Yeah,
it looked. It looked homemade, but Malcolm, I've never heard anybody say to dry the tomatoes for an hour.
Yeah.
That was new for me.
Well, you have to let them.
Tomatoes.
You do?
Well, these
kind
are
of.
such fresh
Estes
summer
lets his
tomatoes.
rest.
They're so juicy. You know, if you don't get some of the moisture out of it, then you've got a soupy pie.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a difference in putting them on paper towels, which is what I do, and then you're saying let them dry for an hour. That sounds great.
Let them, express the moisture out. They're still plenty moist, and so
delicious.
It was. In fact, I think that's one of the first things Brant said to me this morning when I got up. He's been up for 2 hours, and I just now got up. So, but he said that tomato pie last night was delicious.
There you go.
That's one of his favorite things, and it's the first one we've had this summer. So it was great.
Well, Tim, thank you so much for calling in. It's good to hear from you. We look forward to seeing you when we can.
We look forward to that as well.
A couple of quick things.
Day.
All right, thank you. A couple of quick things, Carol. A couple of texts. Mary wants to point out that Wednesday is National Root Beer Float Day, FYI. Rick Cleveland just texted in to say, put some ground lamb in that meatloaf.
Ooh.
Good tip. Also, I wanted to point out that both John T. Edge and Robert St. John have new books coming out this fall. John T.'s is a memoir entitled House of Smoke. Robert's is a Robert St. John's Mississippi Christmas coming out this fall, so keep your eyes peeled for those. All right, Deep South Dining is a production of Mississippi Public Broadcasting's Think Radio, and we are made possible by generous contributions from listeners like yourself. If you enjoy the stories, the flavors, the community we bring each week, please consider making a contribution to help shows like this stay on the air. Visit mpbonline.org or show your support by using the MPB app. Our show is produced by Marissa Vaughn. For our neighbors who joined in the show today, for my co-host Carol Palmer, I am Malcolm White, asking you to please stay tuned for Everyday Tech at 10, Southern Remedy at 11, and join Carol and I every Monday and every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. for more of the same, more Deep South Dining on MPB Think Radio.